Hey, Whippersnappers, this is TortimerTheGreYT. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Pokemon Showdown Gray version Season 2. This week, we are just coming off our first gym battle. I obtained the ground gym badge last week, and now we're heading through a cave through to the next gym. And running into a number of trainers on our way, still in the Little Cup tier, at least until we defeat the gym next week. I've got a little bit of a different team, ran into a couple of Pokemon on my way from the last gym to this route, and so our team is shaken up a little bit. We still have Tika and Hanu and Bob on the team, but we've also added Junimo the Morello, Fumsy the Coughing, and Boots the Apom. I couldn't help myself with Boots. I figured if we're only going to have a couple of weeks in the Little Cup tier, and right now I'm in the middle of a Little Cup League with the Little Cup Federation, and I didn't draft Apom there, I'm not getting my Boots fixed, so I figured, you know what, Boots is coming in whether you guys like it or not. Now we run into just me, though. One of the preschoolers wandered into a cave here, and going up against him on the beginning of the route here. Hanu burned with the Shell Smash going Slowpoke in the Trick Room. We set up the knockoff, or we throw up the knockoff there, doesn't do a ton. Hanu's going to go down. Junimo then switches in, paralyzed already from a previous attack. Drillbur switches in, Junimo is paralyzed. Drillbur throws up that poison jab, is going to finish off Junimo there. The effect spore going to land the poison on the Drillbur though, so that's going to be pretty helpful to us. Tika then switches in, forces out the Drillbur. Spheal switches into that. Unfortunately, not a great switch for Spheal, as the Bullet Seed's still going to land. Not going to be enough to finish off the Spheal, but going to do some pretty good damage. And then Tika's going to be fast enough on the next turn to be able to take down the Spheal. Then Zubat switches in. Zubat is already asleep. Boot's going to come into that. Zubat remains asleep. The Fake Out comes out, does decent damage to Zubat, although not as much as I would have expected on Apom versus a Zubat. The Fury Swipe's, though, then going to land and do some good damage there. Zubat may be running Eviolite or something there. I'm not really sure. That was a pretty bulky Zubat. Slowpoke then going to take a hard knockoff there. Super effective damage. Boot's going to take the Psychic and go down. Critical hit probably did not matter there. Tika then switches back in. One of the main weaknesses of this team is that I do not have a spinner on the team to get rid of these rocks. A lot of you guys using rocks, and I didn't really have an answer for it. I didn't have any hazards of my own, and I didn't have a spinner to take care of it. So I might need to be checking things out in the coming routes for something like that. But there we go. We took down preschooler Just Me, though, at the beginning of the cave. Let's see what's in store for us deeper in, shall we? Here we go. Alrighty guys, a little further into the cave we run into GBL4 Turtles, or Shunosaurus, and Boots is going to throw up the Fake Out on the Noibat there. Noibat's going to flinch, and then the Fury Swipes are going to finish off Noibat before it gets a chance to do anything there. So there we go. Dig Dug then switching in, breaking that mold, throwing up the Earthquake on Boots. Boots going down. Another early death for Boots there, but she does her job well. Junimo then throwing up the Spore, but the Vital Spirit on Magby, keeping it awake, forcing me to switch out into Hanu. Breaks the Sturdy there. The Thunder Punch doing decent damage, but not enough to kill, and the Berry Juice going to activate, getting me back up to snuff there. Stone Edge finishing off the Magby. Fun Guy then coming in, because he's a fun guy. Oh, Shunosaurus, you slay me. Alright, Fumsy goes to sleep there, sleeping on the job, but he's still able to do his job reasonably well, although not as efficiently as he normally would while asleep. But he's going to switch out in the face of Bob. Bob comes in, throws up that Sucker Punch up against the Psychic Flying Bat, and going to take a hard Shadow Ball, hanging on with the Focus Sash there. The Sucker Punch is not going to activate because Shunosaurus is setting up more, but I figure eventually he's got to attack me, right? So I keep throwing up the Sucker Punches there in hopes of that. We threw up the Iron Head there and do a little bit of damage to the Paris, but gonna take Bob down. We threw up the Brave Bird, Tika finishing off the Fungi there. Dig Dug then switches in. We're gonna bring Tika back on out because Tika runs the Choice Scarf there, so she doesn't really want to throw up Brave Birds up against Drillbur. Fumsy switching into the Rock Slide. He does wake up, however, and get the burn off on the Drillbur, so good timing there from Fumsy. Not going to be able... Oh, well, actually, he does survive. I forgot about that. Alright, Fumsy survives long enough. Probably could have thrown up a Pain Split or something there, but honestly didn't really know what to expect. I wasn't sure if he'd survive long enough to get anything going, so we just kind of went for it. Junimo then going to switch in, throw up the Giga Drain, but the Drillbur has switched out. Drillbur switching in, probably mostly just to to get the poison jab available, and because he's scarfed, and he does get it available. Doesn't have enough power though to kill Junimo, and Junimo's going to survive that thanks to the burn. Nick is then going to switch in, throw up the Bug Buzz. Junimo's going to throw up the Moonblast there and finish off the Joltik. So Junimo, one that I saw out especially for this week, or at least after last week, and we'll see why here in a bit. But a nice addition to the team here. So thank you so much for the Battle Shonosaurs. I appreciate you participating in this week, and just me though. I don't think I thanked you, but thank you guys both for showing up this week. And let's see what's in store for us deeper down in the cave. Here we go. Alright, we ran into a cyclist deeper in the cave. Mac, Arctic Animal, riding his bike through the cave like a boss. Boot's going to throw up the Fury Swipe here on Spinderella, and despite the Protect, still going to take it down before it's able to do anything there, so that works out pretty well for us. Spinderella goes down. Boot's going to throw up the knockoff here on the Steelix, get rid of the Sturdy, get rid of the Berry Juice, just overall doing some good work for us there. The Taunt comes out, and I believe that Max said that was a misclick. And I believe it because there's no real reason why you would be taunting Boots. Boots has nothing but attacks for you. So yeah, I feel a little bit bad about that, but it happens. Misclicks happen. So the Zubat setting up the nasty plot, but Boots is just too fast for that. Not going to really matter. Going to finish off. See that Zubat's running EV Light. Maybe that's a standard set. I don't really use Zubat very frequently. Boots going to go down to a hard crunch from Hugo there, bringing in Junimo. Junimo is going to force out Hugo, throw up the Spore, getting Rupture back to sleep. Hanu then going to come in at that point in face of the Numel. The Numel wakes up pretty quickly. Critical hit, going to take us down to her Sturdy, activating that Berry Juice. Hanu then going to set up the Shell Smash, and then he's going to throw up the Aqua Jet here, finishing off the Numel. At which point Hugo's is going to switch into the Stone Edge, going to go down, and Abra coming back. Jafar. The knockoff going to take it down to the Sash, and then Hidden Power Rock going to take us down to the Sturdy, but we have Aqua Jet, so we are able to get in there quicker and finish off Jafar. Although we probably would have been quicker anyway with the speed boost. But yeah, so taking down the Cyclist there. Thank you so much for the battle, Mac. I appreciate you showing up week after week and being an active member in the Pokemon Discord. If you guys have not joined the Discord yet, link in the description down below. You should join my Pokemon Discord. Well, it's a Discord for the channel, but largely we have a Pokemon channel within the Discord server, which is where most of the action happens. So if you're Pokemon fans and you've not joined that yet, feel free to do so. Always a fun time in there with you guys. So thank you again, Mac, for joining us today. Let's see what the next trainer in the cave has in store for us. Here we go. We bump into the Admiral Emulat in here, and he leads off with a Zubat of his own, shiny Zubat. In fact, I'm sure I've told you guys, but my first shiny ever was a shiny Golbat, so I like seeing that. But this little monster here, the Mudbray, is the reason why Junimo has, I sought Junimo out specifically. I needed a special attacking grass type, because Mudbrays are a monster. Scad completely embarrasses me last week in the gym with her Mudbray, and I lost to several others as well. It's kind of a tough Pokemon to go up against. So especially if you like most of the Little Cup meta is, especially if you're physically based. Not a lot of strong special attackers in the Little Cup meta. You pretty much have Abra and did I mention Abra? I mean, there's several other next tier down ones, but pretty much if you're a strong special attacker, like Porygon, like Cutiefly, like some of these other Pokemon, you get banned pretty quickly. So pretty much Abra is the choice, but there's obviously some other slightly lower tier options as well. And I decided to test out Junimo, the new Morello. Didn't see one in-game when we were doing this blind run, so figured why not? We'll play around with them in Showdown. That's where most of my experience with some of the more obscure Pokemon comes in anyway. Never had trained a Coughing or had any interest in training a Coughing before we started doing Little Cup stuff here, so it's a nice way to get some exposure. Because Coughings exposure. Alright. The Admiral Emulat playing with the laws of attraction here, and going to be immobilizing some of our Pokemon. This is partially his ground team from last week. He wasn't able to make it into the battle last week in the gym, and so he came seeking us out in a cave shortly after. He wasn't around when we came through the cave. So Hanu then getting attacked by the oh gosh, Gibble. I was like, I know the name of this Pokemon. Gibble getting the attract up, not as effective as Fumesy, but we are going to get immobilized a couple of times, and then roared out. Boots coming in, going to be able to throw up the fake out here, killing Boots in the process, but she did good work taking down the Gibble. At which point Tika comes in, I'm like, alright, well at least, okay, so we don't have to worry about the attract anymore, but he does have a male Pokemon here. We activate the Berry Juice, not going to have enough power to finish off the Cubone here, and then the attract comes out again, and thankfully Tika is no fool. She throws up the Bullet Seed knowing that that's not true love, it's merely infatuation, and able to finish off the Admiral Emulat's very attractive little team there. Thank you so much for joining us this week, Admiral. I'm glad you were able to make it into the battles. And let's see what else we've got. We've got like 5 more battles we got to get to, so we'll jump right into it. Here we go. Alrighty guys, here we are a little deeper into the cave, past the halfway point at this point, and we bump into Scad with Harriet, her Gibble, and Boots is, this is a bad play. This is a misclick on my behalf. Rough Skin on Gibble. I threw up the Fury Swipes. I'm taking almost as much damage as the Gibble, and in fact going to go down. I'm going to kill myself, attempting to kill the Gibble. Not a smart play on my behalf. But we throw up the Spore on the 1% Gibble. I honestly expected to switch out there, which I don't know why. I was, not to make excuses, but while I was battling Scad, I was also battling another person, and I was watching a video on YouTube because it was my lunch break, and that did not go well for me. So a lot of bad plays here up against Scad, leaving Fumesy in against a special attacker, you know, making bad plays with Boots against Harriet, wasting Sleep Powder on the Gibble, things like that. Not the best battle I've ever had, so a bit of an embarrassing one here, but Bob coming out into the Flash Cannon there, going to force out the Magnemite, throw up the Earthquake on the Slowpoke, getting the crit at least, so doing some good work there, throwing up the Sucker Punch, and taking the Scald, knowing that that's a sacrifice play. Didn't really have any better option there. Want to switch Tika in there, throwing up that Bullet Seed, finishing off the Slowpoke there. Scad then switching into Tesla. I'm locked into Choice Scarf, unfortunately, at this point, and I can't really switch. Like, everybody I have is weak to this Magnemite. Hanu I can't switch in for fear of Electric. Junimo I can't switch in for fear of a Steel-type move. Hanu switches in on the Magby, throws up the Aqua Jet, not enough to kill though, unfortunately, and then the Flame Body is going to burn us, the Berry Juice is going to heal it up, and Maggie is going to then set up the Belly Drum, which is going to spell the end of our battle with Scad. Junimo then switches in, going to get a Fire Punch from the Maggie, and that'll be it. That'll be it. So Scad continuing her revenge tour from the first week where we won. I think we could have beat Scad if I'd been paying better attention earlier on, but unfortunately it was not to be. I'll have to prove that this week in the coming gym battle. But thank you so much for fighting Scad and for always giving me a tough battle. I appreciate that very, very much. Helps me to hone my skills a little bit, even if I do have to post embarrassing battles every once in a while, but I appreciate because you support throughout the years on all of these series and all of my series. Thank you so much. Alrighty guys, we got a couple more battles to get to. Let's jump into them, shall we? Deeper into the cave. Alrighty, I had a little bit of a scare there. I accidentally had loaded up 2 of Scad's battle and not loaded up Celine's battle, and I looked back at my spreadsheet, I was like, crap, I copied the same link for both of them. But able to go in and find the link on Showdown, so that works out nicely. But we run into Celine Eleanor here in the cave. Boots finishing off the Pawniard with a hard Brick Break there. Carvana then switching in, Boots coming on out into Junimo. Carvana throwing up the Protect there, getting a little bit of a speed boost. Getting the Protect up again here as I attempt to Spore the Carvana. The speed boost getting it up now to 2 times speed. The Psychic Fangs unfortunately not doing a whole lot, but the effects for paralyzing the Carvana. Unfortunately that makes the Spore not work, but couldn't possibly have known that was coming. So the Waterfall, again, not doing a whole lot of damage, but the Giga Drain going to finish off the Carvana for us, so that works out pretty nicely. Volibee then switches in, the Brave Bird going to finish off Junimo there, going to go down. Hanu then going to come in, going to take a hard knockoff from the Volibee, get rid of the Berry Juice, but the Stone Edge is going to be able to land and finish off the Volibee. At that point, we Shell Smash, but I'm pretty sure that the Strut is going to go ahead and finish us off here. Not enough damage from the Volibee to activate the Berry Juice, and the Berry Juice got knocked off either way. So Bob going to switch in to a Flamethrower, the Pokestash going to keep it alive, and the Earthquake going to finish off the Grimer. So, able to find the battle, which is fantastic, and thank you so much, Celine Eleanor, for coming out and battling this week. I greatly appreciate it. Alrighty, we've got 3 more battles to get into, guys, so let's give it a shot. Here we go. Alrighty guys, up against Ready, let's go towards the end of the cave here as Boots throws up the knockoff, getting rid of the Sturdy and the Berry Juice in one fell swoop. The Geodude throwing up the rocks there as Junimo is going to switch in, the counter failing as we did not throw up an attack. Geodude being forced out as Litwick is going to take a Giga Drain there from Junimo. Junimo getting back up to full health but switching on out. Fumesy going to come in as the Trick Room gets set up. The Fire Blast doing heavy damage to Fumesy. The Clear Smog not really doing a whole lot. We don't really have a big answer on Fumesy to Litwick. So Fumesy going to go down. Unfortunately, Fumesy is my slowest Pokemon, so I just kind of had to hope that he could potentially do something. But Litwick going to switch out. Grimer then going to switch in. The Sucker Punch not doing a whole lot. I'm going to throw up the Protect here, seeing that the Trick Room only has 1 turn left. So I'm going to let that pass, and then going to throw up the Earthquake here. A Baltoy, unfortunately, going to have Levitate and be immune to that. But the Iron Head is going to do some good damage to the Baltoy and get us the flinch, so that works out very, very nicely. Throws up the Trick Room there, and then the Sucker Punch will be able to land as Baltoy attempts to throw up a move and kill the Baltoy. Bob then switching in, just trying to stall out the Trick Room here. Most of my team is a little bit quicker than the Trick Room team he built here, so that makes it difficult. Hanu then going to take a hard knockoff there, losing the Berry Juice, but we are able to get the Shell Smash up, which is going to boost our attack, and then we go for the Stone Edge, which is going to finish off the Grimer as the Trick Room ends. Lileep then switching in, taking a knockoff there, getting the EV Light going, and then Hanu going to go down, just knowing I won't be able to switch him back in if I switch him out, and the stat boost will be gone anyway, so might as well just do what we can with him while we can. Critical hit Fake Out there, then the Brick Break landing, finishing off the Lileep. So that works out very nicely. Geodude switching in, then at that point Brick Break going to land and finish off the Geodude as well. Then the Solosis comes into the knockoff there. Boots doing some really good work for us in this battle. And then they'll switch in the Litwick, and Boots will be able to finish off the Litwick with a knockoff, winning the battle for us. So Boots doing some great work in this battle. She's got an answer for most things, so that works out very nicely for us. Thank you guys, or not thank you guys, we got 2 more battles before I thank all of you, but thank you so much to Ready Let's Go for participating this week. Yeah, let's jump into the next one, shall we? Here we go. Alrighty guys, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel already. Just a couple more trainers in our way as Boots throws the Fake Out up on the Hippo, and the Sandstream is going to be throwing up some damage on us here and boosting some stats of some other Pokemon as the rocks come out. Fury Swipe's going to land on the Hippopotas at this point and going to take it out. Hippopotas goes down, at which point then Headbutt, the Cranidos, is going to switch in, bringing in Fumesy to take the Superpower, which works out very, very nicely for us. Able to take that very well and then throw up the Will-O-Wisp, which will instead land on the Donkey there. And Mudbray going to be taking some damage. At least when Mudbray takes damage from that, it's not going to activate the stamina, but Klungar's got an answer for that. He's going to throw up the Rest to get rid of the burn and heal up some damage there, so that works out well. But Junimo is here for just such an occasion. Going to throw up the Giga Drain here on the Donkey, taking a hard, heavy slam, but going to get some health back from the Mudbray, so that works out pretty nicely. Defense is raising, but being a special attacker, Junimo doesn't care. Donkey going to throw up the Rest again, get healed back up. Giga Drain continuing to heal us up, so that works out nicely. Donkey going to switch on out. Giga Drain going to finish off the Cranidos, so getting Junimo back up to snuff there. Martial Arts, the Mind Fu switches in. Fumesy going to come in for that. The knockoff going to get rid of Fumesy's Eviolite, but he's pretty bulky anyway. Unfortunately, Martial Arts throwing up the Taunt here, removing Fumesy's ability to either Pain Split or throw up the Will-O-Wisp there. So just going to try and do what we can to the little Mind Fu here. We don't really have anything that would appreciate being switched into Mind Fu. So going to let just Fumesy do his job. Unfortunately, he can't do it quite as well as we would like, but throwing up the flamethrowers here in the hopes that we will get the lucky with the 10% chance of burn. So we can't use the Will-O-Wisp, but potentially we'll be able to get enough damage off to be able to finish off the Mindfu. And we actually get lucky here, and Fumesy, even with his EV Light gone, even without the help of Will-O-Wisp or Pain Split, he's able to outlast the Mindfu and finish it off with some flamethrowers there. Tika then switches in as Fumesy dies. Gonna throw up the Brave Bird, but the Timber's switching out, so that'll go up against the Archon. Archon able to take that pretty well as Bob switches into the Rock Slide. Rock Slide not going to do a ton, and the Iron Head going to be enough to finish off the Archon there. Donkey then switches in. Bob comes out in favor of Junimo. Junimo is then going to be up against the Sleeping Donkey, take that Earthquake very, very well, and then going to be able to throw up the Strength Sap here to lower the attack stat of that thing in case a Heavy Slam comes our way again. Wakes up, Klungar miscalculated there, throws up the Sleep Talk there, and then is going to throw up the Rest. So back asleep, healing back up all the way, but in the 2 turns we have left without the ability to rest, we should be able to finish off the Donkey, so we throw up another Giga Drain, takes it down to 1%, and unfortunately, Klungar Sleep Talks Rest, not going to throw up any damage, and finishing off with the Giga Drain. Okay, Mudbray is down. Then Muscular, the Timber, comes in, makes a physical contact, gets the paralysis for his trouble. I'm going to throw up that Moonblast there and finish off Muscular. I really like this little mushroom. I wanted to take a look and see what evolutions it might have so that I could potentially look at using it in-game at some point. But yeah, Junimo, the Morel Elf, finishing off Klungar's team there for us. And we've got one more Pokemon trainer, I guess, standing between us and the exit of the cave. Let's see who they are and what they've got in store for us, shall we? Here we go. Alrighty, guys, last trainer for today is Nougat and his team of Alolan and regular Rattatas. Youngster Joey really took his Rattata love to heart and is going to come at us with a full team here. I wanted to have this one be last, not only because it was the last battle I did, and I pretty much just showed you guys these all in the order that they came in, but also because I wanted to highlight something we were discussing in the Discord this week, another reason why you guys should join the Discord if you have not done so already. But we have the ability now, like when we're in a specific tier, your team still needs to adhere to that tier. But if we do anything goes battles, or there was one other method that Shunosaurus and Mac were trying out. I think Nougat here we did an anything goes battle. Basically, it just allows us to get around the species clause. Because you know some people were like, man, I want to be a fisher with like 6 Magikarps or something, and in general the Smogon tiers don't allow you to have more than one of the same Pokemon, but there are ways to get around that. So if you want to build a level 5 team in anything goes just so you can get around the species clause or something, you're more than welcome to do that. But you can't use any Pokemon that are not eligible for that tier. So you can't use any non-Little Cup Pokemon. When we move into the next tier, you can't use any non-NU Pokemon or PU Pokemon, or whichever one is the next tier we're moving into. We'll figure that out after this next week's gym battle. But Tika finishing off the rodents there and finishing off the cave. We defeat Nougat and his youngster Rattatas and take a step out into Sunshine, finishing the cave route for this week. Now, we need to figure out what's going on next week, so let's jump over to the spreadsheet and see how things are going. Special thank you again to all of you guys who participated this week, especially Nougat, and I don't know if I thanked Klungar, but all of you guys who participated this week, whether I thanked you at the end of your battles or not, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for coming out and participating. Now, for those of you guys who want to continue participating next week, let's see what's in store, shall we? Here we go. Alrighty guys, well, looking at our spreadsheet for this week, we are coming up on another gym battle, because with this second season, we're doing a gym battle every other week just to kind of keep things moving along. So we're still in the Little Cup tier for the second gym, so here we go. We've got, we'll be in the second gym badge, Little Cup tier after this next week. So this week, you guys will build Little Cup gym teams in the Little Cup, or gym teams in the Little Cup tier. We'll randomize the type here in a second. But the week after that, then whatever we roll in next week's episode will be in the NU tier and so on. All right, so we're doing a gym, so that's already decided, but we need to decide what type that gym is going to be. So we need to randomize 1 through 18. If 9 comes up, obviously we'll disregard it, but 17, so that is the steel type. So we will have a Little Cup steel type gym next episode. So there you guys go. As always, it is your gym. So if you want to have 3 Pokemon on your team, that's fine. If you want to have 6, that's fine. If you want to have, you know, I do request that the gyms are largely monotype, but I do not require that they are solely monotype. So as with the ground gym, we had some rock Pokemon in there. We had some Pokemon on some teams that had the ground type in evolutions, but in their pre-evolutions they were not ground types. So we had like Shellos who were water types. We had Turtwigs who were grass types, but their evolutions were ground types. So if it makes sense, if you can make a logical argument for why you should use or why a steel type gym would have a non-steel type Pokemon in that gym, I'm more or less open to it. So, but I would ask that the majority of your team is the steel type, just for the sake of the challenge. It's a steel type gym. So, if you guys have any questions on that, build your steel type Little Cup gym teams, and we will go at it. I had a couple of questions in the past and this last week as to how do I select who the gym leader is. I never really meant to keep it a secret, but I will tell you guys that largely the gym leader ends up getting decided. Basically, it's the closest best battle that I have that I win. Because the point of this challenge is to move through the challenge. It's just a fun thing for us to do together. I'm not looking to come back and do the steel type gym the next week. We're going to get the badge. Spoiler alert. Unless I lose every battle that week, and in which case, yeah, we can probably examine potentially coming back to it. But it's going to be the closest battle. Generally, you know, you got to have a 6 type. There are 6 Pokemon team to become the gym leader. It usually, if you've got a pretty interesting team, if I've got a couple of really close battles, then that's it. Also, I will say, if you've been a gym leader before, which in this season, so Amir was our ground type gym leader. Amir won't be a gym leader again unless we have like a gym week where like only 3 people show up and Amir's one of them, and he's the only one who has a full team that I'd be like, those sorts of things. So, but generally speaking, if you've been a gym leader before, you won't be a gym leader again. You might pop up as an Elite 4 member or something potentially if we don't have enough people participating. But just wanted to kind of throw that out there. It's, you know, have a 6 Pokemon team, have an interesting team, put up a good battle. If I win, then you might have a chance of becoming the gym leader. If anybody has any questions on that, feel free to let me know. Yeah, that's just kind of the way it goes. So yeah, put together your steel type Little Cup teams, and I look forward to taking you guys in the gym this week. As always, guys, it is Tuesday morning from 7 to 8 a.m. EST. It is Wednesday afternoon from 12 to 1 p.m. EST. All of that information in the description down below. How you can find me on Showdown, all of that information. If you've never participated before, Showdown is a free online battle simulator, so you can check that out. No registration even necessary. Just get on and start battling, make some teams, do what you got to do. So if you want to participate and you have not done so yet, it's quick and easy. Feel free to do that. If you got any questions, again, put them in the comments down below. Guys, I will throw out there for you, though. I had a lot of this week. People kind of at the last second just saying, hey, Tort, are you around? Can we do a battle? If you need an exemption, if you cannot make it to one of the existingly laid out times that I'm going to be around, if I happen to be around and can accommodate you, fine. But I would much rather you guys, as you're watching this episode on Sunday and realizing, oh, I'm not going to be able to make it there, don't wait until Wednesday evening to send me a message on Discord or something or on Twitter and say, oh yeah, Tort, can you get in there? Can I get in there this week still? I'm going to probably stop accommodating that if it becomes like a recurring thing. I would prefer, I would love to make accommodations for you if you can't make, if you just cannot make one of these other times. Then send me a message. Just put in your comment down below right now. Say, hey, Tort, I can't make those times, but would you be willing to potentially meet with me, you know, some other time this week? And give me a specific time that we can potentially meet up. I don't want you guys to wait till the last minute and then say, oh, hey, yeah, can I potentially get in there? I'd rather kind of schedule something with you guys so that I know when to be around and things like that. That's just kind of a preference thing, and so I hope that makes sense to you guys. But anyway, guys, if you have any questions at all, again, put them in the comments down below. I look forward to battling you all this week on Tuesday morning from 7 to 8 a.m. EST, or Wednesday afternoon from 12 to 1 p.m. EST. I'm really looking forward to that. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been TortimerTheGreYT, and you guys have been great. Special thank you again to all of you guys who have participated and will continue to participate in this series. This kind of series wouldn't exist without you guys, so thank you guys so much again. And I've been TortimerTheGreYT, and you guys have been great. Make sure those likes, comments, subscriptions for me, guys, and I'll see you all back here next time. Alrighty, guys, have a good one.